What's going on, everybody? This is your man Abe-Unit, reporting live from the DMV. But you know what? That's enough for me. Today on the Abe-Unit Show, I have a special guest in the building. And we're going to start off with a quick intro before we dive too deep into the show. Let's go!
This is Yony Kifle, and you're watching the Abe-Unit Show.
Yony Kifle, founder, CEO of your DMV team, basketball enthusiast, father of Liam. We'll get into all of that.
Liam Kobe Kifle. You gotta say all. You gotta say that middle name, baby.
Kobe.
I couldn't get that as a first name.
Yeah.
But I got the middle.
She wouldn't let you do it.
Yep.
We'll get into all of that, but first it's time for the warm up. Are you ready?
Let's go.
What was your first job?
A movie usher, cleaning up people's trash.
All right. What are you afraid of?
Heights.
Heights.
Yeah, I wouldn't say heights. Yeah.
What do you wish you learned sooner?
I wish I could. First and foremost, I grew up mostly here, so I don't speak Amharic, but I wish I had relearned that sooner.
What is the last audiobook you finished?
I think the 10X Rule.
The
10X Rule by Grant Cardone. That's something that I definitely highly recommend.
A place you've traveled to that you would not go back to?
I was in Detroit. We were there for the Final Four.
Oh, okay.
When it was in Final Four, but like
you're not going back.
I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to whatever.
Who do you look up to?
Kobe or RIP. That was just somebody that I followed coming in. Just the work ethic. Obviously I was a basketball enthusiast, like you mentioned, but just the greatness of honing his craft and being that. So that's something definitely.
A mistake you constantly see people make while looking to buy a home.
It's easy when we see it on our side, but it's going with online lenders, people like lenders that you just you find chasing after the best interest rate, mortgage rate, which ultimately that is a criteria that you have to have. But there's so much more in choosing a lender. And if I'm looking back, all the mishaps and the things, the transactions that blew up, it's because the lender side just it wasn't the right lender that they needed.
Gotcha. If you can have an unlimited supply of one thing, what would it be?
Money. Come on, money. I mean, let's not break down. Unlimited supply?
Yeah.
Not money.
All right. Speaking of money, what is the one thing you regret spending money on?
Yeah, clothing. Like clothing I bought, never used it. Or I just worn once, never back.
Lastly, what is your favorite thing about yourself?
I think I'm resilient.
Resilient.
Yeah. Like just gonna keep going, no matter what's happening.
All right, we can't get too far into the show. I want to ask you. You recently became a father. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How has fatherhood changed you, or is it still changing you?
Yeah, I think it's consistently, but it's amazing. Like it's an amazing thing. But just looking at the evolution, I guess the progress,
right,
of a baby being in a woman's stomach in a sense, or and then coming to be. It was in the delivery room.
Yeah.
That whole process is crazy, and then watching a baby develop, it's just an amazing thing. Like I have these subscriptions that tell you, okay, this week your baby should be what. So I get a subscription with 1 week. It says, this week your baby understands he has limbs.
Right.
Yeah. Like what? Like this week he can hear you. He can see. Like that's astonishing. Like that, just like the whole human life and the process. It's amazing. But ultimately too, it's motivating in the sense of you have this person, you just want the best for them, and so you're willing to do anything to put that person in a position to be the best.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk real estate. That is the main reason that you are here.
Yeah. Not because you like me.
No. I love you, man. I appreciate you always. Been a friend of the show even through the B.O.B. podcast.
Yeah. No. I love it.
All right, let's talk real estate, right? So we hear buyers and sellers market, that those terms being thrown around a lot. What do they actually mean, and what kind of a market is it right now?
It is a full-on quote unquote seller's market.
Sellers.
Okay. The reason is, I mean, anytime it's a seller's market when you have a lot of demand. Okay, on the other side, so a lot of buyers looking to buy, and the reason that's become the way it is because the demand became because rates when the pandemic hit, and there was about really when we had a lockdown, there was about a 3-week limbo of like we didn't know where things were going to go. We didn't even know like how real estate was going to continue, or whatever. But then rates dropped, and people were like, man, forget COVID.
Right.
This rates. I mean, rates were low as 2.5. That's an auto loan. So like forget that. So people just jumped on the market. And then but there was no inventory. So you have the supply aspect, the demand aspect, which is a lot of demand, high demand.
Right.
But then low supply. There was low inventory, meaning there was no properties to buy. Yeah. So as soon as the property came on the market, you had that demand, all those buyers swarm, multiple bids with no contingencies, all that, which drives prices up and all that. And so that's and so people, sellers have seen that, and those people that need to sell for whatever they're moving or whatever, that is continuing to do that. Low inventory has still been the case. So that's that. So in a sense, it's a low. It was a seller's market. It's been like that. Right. It was still good in a sense for buyers because rates were still very low. So even if you're paying higher, your monthly payments will be lower, and when rates are lower, your purchasing power increases. Meaning, when rates increase, let's say you're approved at $500,000. Let's say $500,000 at 3.5%. If rates are 2.5, again, that can jump up to like 650, whatever. I'm just an example. So that would it's a good thing for buyers on that side, but it's definitely been a seller's market. It's been like that. Now rates are increasing as of today. Just a few months ago, they were within the 3.5 range. Now they hit 5.2 just like 2 days ago.
Is that just inflation?
Yeah, they're trying to combat inflation. So Feds have. That's one of the ways you fight inflation. You raise interest rates, make it harder for people to borrow money, less circulating your money. Inflation kind of drops. So so still quote unquote seller's market, but you can get deals as buyers.
Okay. And for somebody that doesn't know anything about real estate or the housing market, but they have the means to do so, they're like, yo, I'm ready to buy a house. Where do they start?
They call us. They call us a simple. No, so I say that, but it is so you could get lost in the rabbit hole of the internet and anything, right?
Like if you're on like Zillow or Redfin.
Yeah, Zillow's terrible, terrible, right? But like you're trying to figure out information. You start looking at how to buy, and like you go, and you can get some decent information. What I would recommend, and obviously plug us. We're gonna plug our team, but like choose an agent that you trust, a team that you trust, and go to them, and they will literally lay out. Well, I mean, not everybody. That's why I said come to us, and we will literally lay out everything that you need to know. We give you a plan of action. Ultimately, it's choosing. When you're buying a home, obviously the most important part is the funds. Right. Getting pre-approved for a mortgage, and this ties back to the rapid question or mistakes people may ask. Yeah, it's choosing the right lender. People sometimes look online. Okay, the best rate, who's going to give me the best rate, and they go to a lender, and then they choose that lender because that sexy, nice, low rate. That's not. There's a lot more to the game.
And then you walk people throughout.
Oh, we walk. So they come. We have buyer consultations, Zoom consultations, where we literally walk them through the process, right? Yeah. It's literally starting. The first step is getting the funding, getting pre-approved, and there's a difference between pre-call and pre-approval. Making sure you're with a lender that has a certain these 4 criteria that we normally tell people, and then going through that process. So the easiest is, come to us, and then we'll literally give you the blueprint.
Okay. And then I guess this kind of follows up with this question is how do you identify an agent that is there that has really good intentions with you? Like, for example, I'll go to the mechanics and they're trying to upsell me something and trying to fix something, or even like a dentist or a doctor's office, they're trying to sell you on a procedure that you might not necessarily need. How do you discern between an agent that is genuinely trying to help you versus one that's just trying to pull it fast?
That's a good question. I think ultimately that has to do with their experience and reviews. I think that's for somebody that doesn't know us. Hey, listen, just go ahead and look at our reviews, and check us out. Check us out. We can tell you all the things, but again, that's us telling you. So just check us out. Do your research. I guess that's where you choose anybody, right? You check, you do, you check reviews, if you happen to know somebody that was, whether it be a doctor treated by them, mechanic that used them, you ask for maybe referrals. You ask, people.
Right.
Check reviews. You can ask your friends and family for referrals. But do your digging, and I think ultimately it's their experience, how many years they've been in business, I would say, and ultimately, not only that, it's how many transactions. There's people with tons of experience that do very limited, volume.
Like one year.
Yeah. So like you've been an agent 20 years, but you've done maybe 2 deals a day. 2 deals a thing. You wouldn't want to. If you were getting surgery, you want a surgeon that's done thousands. So it's the same thing. So I would say, do your research, reviews, and all those things.
Okay. And then on the flip side of that, say that I am already in the process of buying a house. How do I identify a bad agent? I'm like, this person is like, I think I need to backtrack or.
Yeah. So, it's kind of, I think people always see kind of the red flags, right? But like communication, if like you're following up with them or you're having to do the follow up, that's not a good, this is somebody that's, if you're going through the process, sometimes how stressful it is and how quick things move, especially in our area. So you need an agent that's literally, until you get that house, it's 24/7, communication.
Yeah.
Real estate doesn't start at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Yeah. We're talking to our clients at, 6 o'clock in the morning, talking to them. And
they have that kind of access to you.
11 p.m., writing offers. That's obviously communication. Being able to, communicate, them following up quickly, that's important. Ultimately expertise in the process. Right now, a lot of people are getting hurt because they're with an agent that may be decent in a normal market, but now we're in the wild, wild west. Right. You want your agent that can negotiate the hell out of a deal. What that means is right now is a seller's market. So how do they put you in a position? What negotiating terms? We've had clients come to us after they've been with an agent because they've lost like 10 offers and like they haven't done some basic things like, okay, you haven't done that. Like you have to do that in this market. In that sense, right. You have to put. So ultimately, if it keeps, their knowledge about the process is important and knowledge about the area is important. If you're having to tell them like stuff about an area, that's not a good sign. Yeah. So ultimately those few things I think, but people sometimes they see the red flags just like anything, but like they don't want to confrontation or ultimately deal with the consequences of like. But this is an important process. So if you don't have somebody that's well versed, knows the areas, is proactive, communicates with you, then you're behind the 8 ball to begin with. Right. Yeah.
And I guess let's take it to your DMV team, right? I think one thing that you touched on, you said your availability, 6 a.m.s and 11 p.m. I think that's really interesting. As the CEO, like that sounds attractive, right? Oh, I am the CEO, but a lot of people don't know what it goes into being the CEO. Has that ever been a deterrent, or is it something that you're passionate about, so you're willing to overlook and lose sleep over the deals that you're taking on?
Yeah, don't get it twisted. That things, anything you're trying to accomplish, there's gonna be things that come with it, and it's part of. So I deal with now more so as part of my role. I'm off the field in a sense, so I don't like deal with based like on the field, but so I'm dealing with situations with the agents and deals that are not going well, and ultimately helping us grow, get bigger and bigger, business development, the marketing side, which I enjoy very much, and But you're dealing with any type in any business. You're dealing with people and all that. That's going to come with, whether it be situations that are uncomfortable, transactions that get hairy sometimes, that don't go right, and so like that's it's never been. It's one of those things that the cost of business, cost of running a business, and you have to be able to do that. Now, as you continue to grow, there's ways you leverage and put things in place, but. You always, and in our business, it's a people's game. I love it. My job is now more so to enjoying the interaction with the clients and all that, that definitely makes up for anything that deals with the other side.
You talked about bringing on new agents,
Yeah.
right? And you do the coaching and
Yeah.
things of that nature. But before they even get to that level, they have to be interested. They got to go to school, search. Like, what's your advice on somebody that's like, hey, I want to become a real estate agent. This sounds interesting. This is what I want to pursue. What do you say to them?
No, it's the entry, the barrier to entry is very low, and that's why you have a lot of agents, and that's why you have some terrible agents as well, right? But it's easy. It's just passing your state's required licensing requirements. Normally, it's 60 hours, so you can do that in person. You can real estate classes in my area. There's brokerages that put on classes, or you could do online, right? So however you, as a person, if I couldn't do online. My attention span, like I gotta be so. So you can go to the ceshop.com, mosley.org, and you can get you can start that process. Okay. Generally speaking, I think. Don't quote me on this, but around I think it costs you around like $400 for the class, and then after you finish the class, you take the test the in-class test, and then you have to do the PSI test. It's the state and the national, and so that's literally it right there. The tests, the class and test, it's literally just stuff that you have to know, the fundamentals. That does not correlate with you being a good agent in the sense, or a great agent, or being a successful agent.
I mean, you just pass the test.
Just get that out of the way. And here's the thing: we have a lot of people that reach out to us and say, "I want to do it," and we don't, because we have a lot of people reach out. We say, "Hey, here's the first step," and after you do that, reach back out to us, and we can talk next step. The reason we do this is because we have a lot of people that talk the talk, but don't put up, right? So. A lot of people that say I want to do it, and then they don't necessarily finish the thing. So it's a simple thing, online or in person. You pass the 60 hours of you do the 60 hours of license requirements, take 2 sets of tests, and you're done. You're an agent, you're licensed.
Okay, I know a lot of my peers have dealt with this or are feeling this way about student loans. There are people out here with $20, $50, even $100,000, $200,000 in student loans, and they feel like that's a deterrent. How do you view that?
Yeah, in the sense of
I don't feel like I can buy a home because I have to pay down my student loans first. Yeah,
so ultimately, I mean, and again, I know a lot of people. Those situations it sucks to say the least in those. But if you're paying rent, right, you're still paying rent. So if it's a matter of if you're not paying rent and you want to take that money and put it in there, okay, like let's say you're living with parents and you can do that and you can afford. So if you want to throw and just get rid of that debt, I understand what you're saying. But if somebody's saying to me, I have this student that I can't buy a home, that's not true. You're gonna you're gonna pay to live somewhere anyway. Right. So student loans should not deter you. Okay. The loans and lenders look at your minimum payment that you have to make as part of that, and sometimes when it's deferred, they don't count that. So there's ways to offset that when they look at that as a debt. Mm-hmm. So there's that. And second, if you're going to pay to live somewhere anyway, might as well make it where that could be a way. That could be a way to ultimately invest in something. That you come up on a property, you live in it, and pricing has increased. You're able to sell that, cash out, whatever, and you can pay that off if you want to. But if you're going to live somewhere anyway, you might as well put it towards something that you own and get the tax benefits that you get, build equity. But in terms of qualifying, it does not deter you. It does obviously depend on each person's situation, but there's majority of people have student loans. So we deal with a lot of first-time home buyers. So they do, but the loans will ultimately, it does not deter you from buying. There's loans, the Maryland mortgage program. It's called the Smart Buy program. Sometimes you can, if you qualify, they pay up to $40,000 towards your student loans. Wow. While you're buying a home. I had no idea. Yeah, so there's first-time home buyer programs too that will, if you're strapped for cash, that help with down payment, closing costs. So this is what I'm talking about. Honestly, definitely reach out to us if you have any intention. We do seminars. home buyer seminar, first time home buyer seminars. We do consultations, one-on-one consultations where there's no obligation to give you all this information.
Yeah.
So you don't have to figure it out yourself. But it's not. But seek out, hopefully us, but seek out an agent that you trust and then let them guide you through that. So this is information that could be all, cut through and given to you.
Man, I just want to give you an opportunity to speak on your DMV team really quick.
Yeah.
So if I'm somebody that's looking to buy, like what separates you from everybody else around here in the DMV area?
Yeah.
Like why should I roll with you?
Yeah. I think it's our expertise. We've been in business 12 years. We've helped. We know what works or not. We literally have a game plan, plan of action for anybody that comes to us.
Yeah.
We have, agent 12 agents, 13 agents now, where every agent is, the two criteria is hard work. How hard they work is important, and then integrity.
Yeah.
So anybody on the team, guarantee you can trust with your social security number. Like literally the experience of having all those, everything that we've gone through and understanding the process, the area, but ultimately somebody that you could trust that was going to look out for you. We're not here to make money. We're not here to make commission breath is what they call it.
Yeah.
Like we're going to do what's right for you. If we look at you and say, hey, listen, this may not be the right time for you right now. Like maybe clean this up, or this may not be the right house for you, or you may need it. We're not here to make deals. We're here to help somebody find their first or next home,
right,
or sell their home. So we're gonna ultimately have that integrity of literally giving you the best advice for you. Okay. We're not chasing money. We're not chasing commissions here. So I think it's our overall expertise and knowledge, and ultimately we're there for you. We got your back, and I think we're pretty cool as well. We have fun.
Yeah,
we have fun. We're not. This is a relationship.
Yeah.
Anybody that's been our clients knows we're not. We're giving back too. Like we have fun. We
see you out the
Wizards games. We want to create a relationship. Like so, this is not about hey, we want to help you get. Do whatever it takes to get our commission, and then you'll never hear from us again. We won't do anything for you. We're there after the fact, having fun, inviting you to different things, helping whatever. But ultimately, anything you need, professionals, we're a source of information. People hit us up. What's great, things to do in this, because we have knowledge of. So whether it be recommendations.
So it's not just like a real estate.
No, it's a family. I told you, once somebody buys or sells a home with us, you're part of your DMV team family now. We'll have fun. We work hard, but I think we have fun. This is like life is life, man. Like you enjoy life. I think that's our motto of enjoying it and just living and creating a relationship. So that's where it becomes fun. So I think you'll definitely get what you need, and then after the fact too, you'll enjoy the relationship and the benefits that come with being in the family.
Do you have any final thoughts? Anything that we have not talked about that you're like, hey, I got to get this off my chest?
We think success and whatever success means to you. That's another thing. Success is whatever it means to you. So you figure out what you want, whatever it is, and then go out to do it, and mind you, there's obviously injustice and people don't have the right, the opportunity to succeed. Yes, that does exist. But for majority, man, people, are know what to do.
Not willing to put in the work.
Exactly. That's what separates. The wall is there to figure out who wants it the most.
Yeah.
If you reach a wall and be like, nah, it's not for me, whatever.
Yeah.
That's it. If you're there and then you're complaining, it's not for you. Those that find a way to get through the wall, that's what it is. So yeah, I'm passionate about that. So whatever you're trying to accomplish, find out what success is to you. What do you want to be? And let's go get it. Grind. Put in that work.
And I can't let you get out of here without giving me your predictions for the finals.
Yeah.
Who's showing up to the finals and who's winning it?
Man, that's a good question. I'm a big, Kobe Lakers. So this is tough. I'm not necessarily in tune with them, but and that plus a baby. Yeah. But basketball is basketball. My predictions. I'm gonna say Golden State.
They look good.
Yeah, Golden State and Boston.
They're up 3-0 right now.
I'm gonna say Golden State and Boston, and I think Golden State comes back on that top and they win.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna come back to this video.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
All right.
Hopefully. Well, if they do, yeah. My FanDuel bets horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If that's how this prediction will be,
Yeah.
then yeah, definitely it's gonna be bad.
Yony Kifle, I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Absolutely,
Thank you so much.
man. No, enjoy it.
Love having you on every time. Wealth of knowledge. Definitely appreciate all you do. And I genuinely feel the genuineness of you and your team. Like every time I see you guys across the timeline or seeing what you do for people, I really, really like it. Anytime that somebody's telling me about they're looking for a house, X, Y, and Z, I'm like, yo, your DMV team. That's the first thing that comes up.
That's it. And we take referrals very serious, man, because we know that is a reflection on you, whoever sends it.
Right.
And so we definitely want to make sure that we take care of extra care of those people for sure. No, I appreciate you.